and welcome to XGR.
In the morning.
I am your host for this one, Chris, aka The Mole. And joining me as usual is Geeky Girl.
Hello.
And Victor Hammer, the stay-at-home dad gamer.
Hello.
So, let's kick it off with the news. So, who would like to go first with the news?
Alright, I'll go first for the news. First up, a bit of kind of a sucky thing that several people that updated their Dragon's Dogma, there was a patch for it or an update, and several people reported that it corrupted their save files. And yeah, that kind of sucks, because that's not like a, bro shooter that you can complete in a weekend. That's like a 40-plus hour game, and losing that file would kind of suck. So they advise people to basically back it up before you update. And given I'm paranoid, I usually back them up anyway. So that's always good advice. But still, God, that actually reminds me of years ago on the GameCube that Capcom had a demo disc that I think would erase people's memory card when they played the Beautiful Joe demo or something. So
wow.
Maybe Capcom just doesn't know what they're doing. I don't know. Next up, a bit of news that personally interests me was basically the world designer and the combat designer for Kingdoms of Amalur, a game I really, really liked, are going to be basically heading up the next Mass Effect game. Now, given that I really like the first Mass Effect and I didn't like 2 or 3, this actually makes me excited to see what the next one will be, just because I really like Kingdoms of Amalur. And then my third bit of news in the stupid department is there was a guy in, I forget where it was, but he basically went to a carnival and spent $300 to try to win a Kinect at one of the carnival games. So then after he lost $300 to try and win a $100 piece of hardware, he went and got more money, supposedly quote, the rest of his life savings, which was $2,300, and proceeded to lose that trying to win the $100 piece of hardware.
That's stupid.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, that's gambling addiction right there.
It would have been more hilarious if he won it right at the end and instantly got red ringed.
It'd be funny if he won it and then went home and then didn't know that he needed the Xbox to use it. That would have been even better. Like, nobody knows if he even had an Xbox. Like, that wasn't in there. So he might not have any idea. But yeah. I mean, really, once you spend $300 to win a $100 thing, you need to stop. Like, anything over that is just sad. So, yep, those were my little bits of news for the week.
And cool.
Alright, so now I'll go. Okay, the Angry Video Game Nerd has his own platform that's coming to Nintendo consoles, the Angry Video Game Adventures. So that'll be a fun game to play. It'll probably be on the shop, instant download. I don't think it's going to actually be on, hardware. So
It won't be a disc version?
I don't think it'll be a disc version. I think it'll be just instant download, like one of those, $3 games or something.
I think it'll be a download one, because the trailer at the end, it says, "Do you want this on Steam? Go over and vote for it on Steam." Which means I'm assuming download.
Yeah.
But to be fair, Steam also have disc-based stuff, so...
Maybe.
I'd love to see the pre-order bonuses for that.
I just want to see if it's going to be a good game or not, because I'm sorry, if he himself has lent his name to a game which is going to be a horrible or bad game...
He should review it.
It's almost a definition of irony.
I can't decide... Oh, sorry.
If it's a really bad game, I want him to review his own bad game as a bad game, like he does in his reviews.
I would want to see that, because that's like Inception right there.
Yeah.
He's reviewing his own game. But yeah, I can't decide if they would make it good, so it'd be fun, or if they would intentionally make it terrible like an old Nintendo game. I can't tell which is more appropriate. Granted, I would rather a good game, but I could see them, just have, all the stuff he complains about, like enemies spawning halfway on the screen and knocking you into pits. I could see them doing that kind of stuff. I don't think it'd be great, but I don't know which way they'll
Maybe if you beat the first, if you beat the first game, if you beat it once, it'll have a hard mode, which isn't really hard as much as it is a troll mode, and all the bad things you hate in games will appear.
Ooh, that'd be a really good idea, actually.
That'd be cool.
Troll mode.
Yeah, where the enemies
difficulty, easy, normal, troll.
Why don't these weapons do anything? What, the frickin' enemies have teleportation powers now?
They take 100 shots.
Yes. My god, it took me 100 hits to fucking hit a bird, or something like that. It'd be fun. So then, my second piece of news is that Roly Poly Moly over here in his awesome Nintendo, called Nintendo Shop, if he spent 5,000 stars, even though in America we have coins, you could get actual Mario Kart trophies. They're legitimate, trophies that you get from Mario Kart and stuff, and they're freaking awesome. I think Mole should get me one and give it to me for my birthday. He's already halfway there on stars.
I've already said no to that. And I will also point out, woohoo for the European gamers, 'cause like I mentioned to Geeky Girl the other day, our European store has been horrible compared to the US one most of the time, which means it's cool now and again when we get something you guys don't. Just because it's, you know what I mean, it's kind of okay, it's kind of balancing out, but
it's fair, but...
years of crap v one item, okay, yeah, we'll take it.
I don't know, because lately the Nintendo store hasn't had really anything exciting for at least the last 3 years.
I'd like the game downloads that they do. That's all
the free ones? Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, those are kind of cool.
See, the best thing I got from the other one is I got a remote holder. It looked bigger on their site. They were showing it this is a big thing to hold up to 4 remotes. I'm nice, it looks like a big box. It's about the size of a cup in which you just place the remotes in side by side inside there, a dead tight fit. I'm oh god.
Oh, I think it'd be better if you only held one, You have to buy 4 of them to hold them all.
Yeah, but on the plus side, they did kind of screw up with that, which I contacted them about.
Mm-hmm.
They sent me 2 by mistake, and I contacted them and was you've sent me 2. And oh, we have? And they checked, and I'm oh yeah, we've sent you 2. Okay, you can have the other one for free.
Yay!
So the other one now holds my nunchucks.
That's cool. So my last bit of news, it's not really news, it's kind of news, but they recently did the giant update for the Wii U where they fixed YouTube stuff and you have the official YouTube app and it's this big deal or something, but I have used said app and it doesn't play playlists, and using the browser menu to play YouTube videos is so much better and it runs a lot smoother. It's just ridiculous. It just annoys me that the YouTube app doesn't have as much function on YouTube than the browser does. I can't even click any of the links or descriptions or click next part or anything. It's just and that's the freaking touchpad. I should be able to freaking touch the description or something, the links that are in the description that it shows me on the touchpad, but nope, you can just look at it and be sad and cry. It just annoys me. What's the freaking point of putting on the touchpad if you can't touch it? I just
said, yeah, I agree with you.
It's just really annoying. If I was on the browser right now, I'd be able to do this. Why am I limited by the frickin' YouTube app? So it's really dumb.
Yep. Blame YouTube.
Yeah.
Like we were talking before this, the PS3 one was messed up for ages. It's every time YouTube gets a new app out, they instantly go and change something about their site, which fucks up said apps. It's YouTube goes out of its way to annoy people.
So until that gets fixed, don't use the YouTube app.
Yep. But my news for the week. Okay, I shall start with the small news. Kind of a follow-up from last week. Call of Duty's Ghosts, which I said last week, it is confirmed that's the title of the next Call of Duty game, and according to the recent poster at GameStop, it will be released November 5th, 2013. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah.
The people who like Call of Duty, yay!
Next bit of information, or next bit of news is Tryon Worlds have officially announced that there's a Defiance Most Wanted contest for a chance to get your in-game character into the sci-fi television series. Beginning today, and will run, well, not today, this is when it was posted, it said beginning today and running up until 11:59 p.m. PDT on May the 12th, fans will be able to register for the contest, which they can win by completing 2 new Most Wanted pursuits within the game. The winner will have artists from the show Defiance render their character's likeness into a special place in an upcoming episode. For more information, check out Defiance official webpage.
This makes me think, if I actually won that contest, like, the way I made my character, I don't think it would look like it fit in, because my character has, like, blue hair and looks pretty fucking badass, kind of slightly lesbianish for some reason, but it doesn't look like it fits in the world. I mean,
For some reason.
Yeah, so I think even if I did win that, they would change it so it looks more blended in, because, I don't know, mine looks like it stands out, because you had, like, cheetah prints in the hair and stuff, and it was pretty cool, and, like, you know.
Yep. Which they may do, I don't know with that. I stand to think that if they must have planned for all the pieces that are in the game to be something that you can use in the world. I don't know.
Because you can customize your character, like, a whole lot, and you can make it really fucking crazy. So, like, I don't know. Like, as crazy as, like, it is, at least all the characters felt like they should probably be there. Where this one is like, where the fuck did this person come off of? And it'd be distracting from, like, the main plot of whatever the episode is. If we just threw that in there. Like, the fuck is this person here? There's, like, a random blue-haired lesbian chick making out with a Wookiee right there. And, like, we're just walking past that, keep panning, like, what the fuck was that? Like, you know?
Yep. And now for my main news. I left it till last this week, unlike reading it first like I have for the last 3 ones we've done. Ubisoft has officially said there's going to be exclusive gameplay content for the PS3 as well as PS4 for the upcoming shooter game Watch Dogs. It's going to be 60 minutes of additional gameplay. 60 minutes. It's not. It should be noted, this isn't the first time Ubisoft's done this either. They gave exclusive content to PS3, well, to Sony platforms for Assassin's Creed 3. They also did it with Far Cry and stuff like that, so that's kind of cool. However, I will also say on this news, what people are talking about at the moment with this is they're a little unsure what this means, because a collector's edition has been announced recently across all forms, which has an extra 60 minutes of exclusive content. Which now people are asking, will PlayStation people get 2 hours of exclusive content? Or will will regular gamers also get the collector's edition stuff on the PS3? It's hard to realise. I personally don't know. Your thoughts?
It's probably the same hour. I was actually going to joke and say that, wow, an extra hour, that's like 2 DLCs for them. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Honestly, with Watch Dogs, I did want to play it on the PS4, so that's fine for me.
I want to play it. I wanted to play it on the Wii U, I'll admit. I wanted to buy it for the Wii U because I was like, the touchscreen pad with how the game is, with the map, it seems perfect. And now I'm like, an hour of extra content? Hello, PS4!
I've never played Watch Dogs.
No one has. It hasn't been released yet.
Oh. Yeah.
I think I mentioned that to Marcus, and he's like, you're going to get a PS4? I'm like, well, eventually. Yeah, I don't have to play it right when it comes out. But
I want to get a PS4 when it comes out. I've already got mine pre-ordered.
Nice.
We'll see. I'll get one next-gen console, whichever one my mother feels like in the mood to get me.
You already have a next-gen console.
Yeah, you have Wii U.
Yes.
I know, but another one.
Oh.
Yes. I was going to say, people always seem to make that mistake. The Wii U is a next-gen console.
Yeah.
I mean, like another one. I got this one myself. I had to pay for that shit for the longest time.
But yes. So now we shall turn over to the catch-up section to see what we've been playing this week. And now we... Okay, so now we turn over to Geeky Girl for what game she's been playing this week.
Okay, lately, and last night, I've been playing Heavy Rain again, and apparently I got a lot more achievements this time, even though I thought I already got everything out of it, which I don't really care about achievements, but it was just funny that, like, all these things keep popping up, and like, the hell, I thought I already got stuff. But apparently, you get, like, if you, like, in Heavy Rain, there's so many, like, different choices you can do that I just got one because apparently I never actually completed all the work in the drawing and played with the kids and set the table at the time, so you got, like, multitasking dad or something like that. So, because I actually did all the things I was supposed to do for once.
I'm gonna have to say, when you're saying you're getting all the achievements, technically aren't they trophies because it's the PS3?
Whatever. It has a little trophy symbol.
I had to guess what you mean it's a trophy.
Whatever. It's all the same little stuff.
Yeah, it's all the same pointless shit that has no actual merit on gaming at all.
Because I literally got, like, maybe 5 more achievements or trophies or whatever. Like, and I was surprised because I went into details about how to, like, see what you had to do to actually get them. And they're, like, the smallest, stupidest stuff. It's like, you decided to talk to this guy and 5 times, instead of shooting him. It's like, wow, because I guess last time I must have done it 4 times or something like that. Something small, like, and...
You shot him last time, you would know it.
Yeah, well, see, I talked him down, but I talked him down only 4 times, and then I went to the full-on aggressor because he just wasn't doing it. I'm like, okay, whatever, this obviously is not working, so... Because, like, I didn't do it a 5th time, and, you know... Gotcha. So, it's just, like... it's just little funny things like that I've been doing.
I will admit, I do like Heavy Rain. That is a pretty cool game. I had that at one point. I love playing through... I played through mine with the Move... I know you may be playing through with the control pad, so I don't know if the experience is much different. However, I fucking love that game. If you can call it a game as opposed to an interactive movie, but still, it's awesome.
Yeah, well, see, the thing is, I finally got my, what is it called, the PlayStation Eye, and you see, because my mom accidentally sent me the PlayStation Eye instead of, keeping it home, and now I have the PlayStation Eye, I don't have the 2 navigation controls, as opposed to me playing in the summer, and I had the navigation controls and not the PlayStation Eye. So I still don't get to play it, like, with them. Eventually, I'll play it one day with the Move, but that requires all the components all together in the same place, which is apparently harder to do.
That will be easier for PS4.
Yeah, another game that I've been playing is I just beat BioShock again. Although I am annoyed that since I bought the PS3 BioShock, and BioShock Infinite comes with, like, it comes with a PlayStation 3 version of BioShock 1 anyway, so I'm thinking of returning the BioShock and just buying BioShock 2 for the PlayStation 3 as well, because that's the one I don't have. So then I'll have all 3 of them for the PlayStation.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so that's what I've been playing.
Okay, how about Victor?
Alright, so for this week I reviewed and finally finished up Dragon Fantasy Book 1, which is a very fun, very, very retro RPG. So if you played like the original Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest, it's a pretty cool game. And the developers are patching it, but there are definitely a lot of freezes in that game. They had not an emergency patch, but they had a pretty quick patch to fix basically there's a memory leak, and then that made it so there were a couple other points where it froze, but which is kind of disappointing, but there are ways around it. They're still working on it, which is admirable. The next game I was playing was Poker Night 2 on Xbox.
That looks fun.
And that game's
nice.
Yeah, it is pretty fun. I mean, I'm okay with it being single player, and I'm not very good at poker, but I was still managed to muddle my way through some of it, and I really like unlocking stuff for Borderlands 2, so that's the main reason I want to play it.
I have to ask, do the characters have their proper voice actors back? Like, is GLaDOS, is Ash...
She sounds like it. Ash is not Bruce Willis, it's like
Bruce Campbell.
Sorry, Bruce Campbell. Bruce Willis is hilarious. Yeah, Bruce Campbell. It's not him, it's some other sound of it.
I was going to say, I'd be shocked if it was Bruce Willis. What, they were like, just get me Bruce. Which one?
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't
We
matter.
can't afford Bruce Campbell. Get Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
You know what they should do? Get Bruce Banner. He's the same one.
There you go. But yeah, Brock Sampson is the right one, and Claptrap sounds the same.
Ah, cool.
So as far as I know, yeah, it is. And there's some really good dialogue and banter between the characters, and GLaDOS is, of course, really fucking mean, because that's her role. But it's pretty cool. The last game was... It's a demo, so I didn't actually play the game, but I think this was pretty cool, was Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. It just came out a couple days ago, and I tried it last night, and it's ridiculously, like, stupid. Like, in a good way. Like, I saw the trailer for it, and it looks like an 80s trailer, if that makes sense. Like, all the neon and everywhere. It's basically a game set in the 80s version of the future.
Good 80s.
So there's just neon everywhere, and it's super goofy, and I thought it was pretty cool. And in the beginning, there's obviously a tutorial you have to do. And the way they explain it is the other character, because you're a cyborg. And one of the other characters you're with, basically, I forget how, but he makes it so you have to do the tutorial. So, like, the operator or whatever basically turns off all your functions and is explaining them to you in this, like, completely, like, talking down to you manner, and it's just funny, and the main character's just griping about it, so they're like, you can jump to get over obstacles, and he's like, God, I know that, and then, like, the tutorial screen is like, press X to change your like, vertical location from where you were without touching the ground, and, like, funny shit like that, so it seems pretty cool. I hopefully will play the full version at some point, but I actually thought it was kind of cool.
Nice. That sounds pretty cool. I heard it was like a bit of love note to the 80s.
Yeah.
But yeah, the games I was playing this week. Okay, this one I'll do shortly. Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate.
Yay.
I was playing it on the Wii U. Yay. I played through most of the tutorial. I got to the part where you save, because the people were telling you, everyone, I looked online and stuff, and even their official site and stuff tells you to save, go sleep in your bed. Slept in my bed, turned it off, went back, no save. And it's like, oh, for fuck's sake, I wasn't quite finished all the way through the tutorial yet. But it's like, fair enough, it's still a good game, and from playing through it, it seemed pretty good. It seemed more for hardcore players than most games are nowadays.
How did you get the tutorial? Because whenever I did it, I must have pressed something or pressed skip the tutorial or something by accident, because I never got a tutorial.
That main bit where you're going to, like, the main first mission, and you're starting off, and you're setting up the camp, and you're getting the iron and stuff, all that's like a tutorial, because it's teaching you, okay, this is how you can breathe underwater, this is how you can skin animals, this is how you can do all this.
I never knew any of that until I watched my friend Mark play it, and then he starts grilling something like, where did all this stuff come from? Because when I played it, it was like, go. What?
Well,
just go.
Did you play the demo or the game?
I played the game.
Yeah,
wow.
I was going to say, you may not have played the game. Because when I put the game in, if you haven't got a save on your system, where it starts you and there was no option of skipping, is right at the beginning with a new character setting up the town and stuff.
I don't know what I did.
Probably didn't pay attention.
I guarantee that's at least one element.
Yeah, they basically, it's not like a tutorial mode, it's more that they just have very short missions where it's, the first two are like, do something very specific, like go kill a monster and then go skin it. Yeah,
that's what I meant by a tutorial, because you're setting up that and it's teaching you how you can get iron. It teaches you, another one teaches you how to swim underwater so you can fight this monster, which they're all the basics you're going to need to then just be like, okay, now go do everything else.
Yeah.
But looking forward to playing that the weekend when the Crispy comes around, and you should have his 3DS with Monster Hunter, so we'll try local co-op, yay. So you'll probably hear about that next week.
Nice.
Yay.
Second game on my list, because another short one, was Resident Evil 6.
Sorry.
Not that bad, so far. Because I'm playing it, and I'm playing through, I think it was Leon's story I was playing through. Leon's story's not that bad. I don't know if you guys have played through that one.
I've never played any Resident Evil games.
I just played the demo of 6. And Leon's was the best part of the demo.
Yeah, I'm going through Leon's story, and it feels almost like Resident Evil again. It's like, that's kind of cool. I played through it with co-op, with someone with split screen and shit, and it was kind of cool. It felt like Resident Evil, where, okay, I'm in like this building, and it's like a mansion at one point, and it's like, okay, what the hell am I going to do? Suddenly something had moved, and I end up having to say to the person next to me, was that you? Was that you? And I even ended up saying something to him at one point. He goes, for fuck's sake. When it was like, wait, is that you? He goes, is what me? The thing creeping up behind you. I was like, oh shit, boom. He's like, wait, did you just ask if I was creeping up behind myself? But I had that moment, and it's kind of cool. Now, it's a little bit more action-oriented than I wanted, and it's got some quick-time events, which they further the story. So far, Resident Evil 6, pretty cool. I'll let you know. I will be keeping you updated with Resident Evil 6 as I'm playing through it. I'm probably not going to be doing a review of this shit. But it's a case of, well, during XGR, and next time I may be on someone else's story, or I may be further through Leon's, so we'll see. And the last one I was playing this week, which I fucking love, Dragon Age 2.
Yay.
That game's awesome.
Have you ever played the first one?
Yes.
Okay, is it better than the first one?
It's hard to say.
In what way?
Okay, it's better than the first one, in it doesn't have a game-breaking glitch.
Okay.
However, it's worse than the first one in terms of how the systems are set up, and I preferred the one in the first one. However, playing through it, it's somewhat enjoyable. I missed the origin aspect, but I was playing through it, the second one, I kind of love it, and I love how fucked up some of the stuff could be, and I hope this was a glitch. If it wasn't a glitch, my character had sex with a transgender. Because he was in the brothel, and he said, and I paid the woman money for sex in the brothel. Well, hey, when in Rome. But, and she goes, okay, now pick from any of my finest servants, and they will pleasure you. And I'm like, okay, cool. I see this woman, and she's leaning over, she has big breasts, long hair and stuff, I'm like, cool. I click her, and I follow her, and she has, like, the women's models these games have, so it's clearly a female. Then after we've had sex, it then zooms in and she has like a squarish jaw, and the voice that comes out of it was like, okay, now you come back anytime, love. And I'm like, the fuck?
That's amazing.
What did you drink before?
There's also a gay hooker who constantly wants to seduce me. At one point where he's like, come on. And he's basically like, oh, come on. You know you want some of my services. And he's basically doing double entendres and constantly trying to get me to have sex with him.
Did you have sex with him?
I did not.
Aww.
And during this game, I've been doing the story. It's cool. I've been finding out, doing all the different stuff. And some of the relationships can be a little complex. Like, I had sex with this pirate girl, I found out. Because I got foundation for the elf girl. I got the pirate girl. I'm like, cool. This pirate chick's awesome. I end up having sex with her. And she's like, okay, now I hope that was a nice little distraction. It's like, wait, so you did this without love? And she's like, yeah. So I'm like, okay. And now I'm banging the elf chick, but and it's kind of
the
cool.
like depressive emo elf chick.
Yes.
Yeah, she's cool.
With the cool, sweet little voice. And while I'm with her, later on I get a cutscene. I accidentally speak to I forgot her name, the pirate chick in the bar. She turns around, she says to me, now then, are you and her getting closer? Like I suspect. To which, I'll be honest, I did the dickish thing. I chose the flirt option of, is someone feeling a little jealous? And she's like, no, we were never in a relationship. It's cool, I'm happy for you two. You two are very happy. Don't let her hear you say that. And she goes, oh, and one more thing. I said, yeah? Yeah, if you ever hurt her, I'm gonna come hunt you down and I'm gonna chop off your dick with my sword. And my character's just staring at her, she's laughing, and I'm like, oh my god. Some of the dialogue in it is brilliant too. Like, I loved, when I was with the elf chick in one of the things, we meet up with this guy and he's like, no, you don't understand what I need to do to this girl. And he's like, what do you mean? You go, oh, and he's like, I've been framed. And it's like, oh, okay. And you find out this mystery. But then the guy who was being framed said, no, you have to understand, I'm going to be the only one to hunt down this killer, and when I hunt him down, I'm going to be the one to drain him slowly of every last drop of blood. To which the elf chick goes, okay then. And so you see her sort of step back, and she's like, okay then, that's a little creepy, let's admit it. And I'm like, that's kind of awesome. Awesome. And I've been playing through, and according to my save file, I've got 18 hours worth of gameplay in this thing so far, and I'm not even through the end of of Act 2 or whatever it is, because I've been doing all the side missions and stuff just so I have further dialogue, just so I can play it further and see more interactions. It's cool. I love these types of games, and I love being able to make choices, but that was my big one this week, was Dragon Age 2.
Okay.
It'll probably be mentioned next week, so ironically, all three of mine this week will probably be mentioned next week. Because I only just got this game through the store for cheap. Although, it is cool if you own the first game and you get the second one, you get some cool, like, Dragon Age armor, which looks exactly like the Dragon Age armor in Mass Effect.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. So now we'll turn it over to the opinion piece. Whoopee power. And now, our opinion piece of the week. This week is all about voice dubbing in games versus reading of the text in games. Which ones do you prefer for story or characters or games? I'll turn it over to Richter for this one.
Okay. For me, when they first started putting voices in games, I thought it was like amazing and I loved it. And I still think that when it's pulled off really well, like they get really good voice actors, it's awesome. But a lot of times in RPGs specifically, there are times when I just want to read it. I'm just like, they're talking. Because for me, at least, I can read faster than they talk. So I tend to cut off their talking anyway. And occasionally you'll get a scene where it's really... where, like, you can't skip it, so you have to wait for them to finish talking, and you're just like, just shut up and do it. Because you don't want to skip the whole scene, like movie scenes or whatever.
Yep.
But I do actually I'm a big fan of voice acting, so I do like it in games, but sometimes, there are occasional times where I just want to read it. But I think it's good when it's done really well. I don't think every game necessarily needs it if they don't want to. And in regards, real quickly, for something in a native language, let's say like if it's a Japanese RPG and stuff, I almost always prefer they dub it, but I actually like it best if there's the option for both, just to shut up whiny fans. But I usually like a game dubbed versus subbed, which is kind of weird, so
I do.
I
do that depending on the game. If it's like a big RPG or something like that, yeah, I'd like it dubbed. If I'm playing a Dragon Ball Z game, I'll be honest, I play that in Japanese with the subtitles on, so I still got the voice acting, and I'm hearing like the high-pitched Goku and stuff. It's like, that's kind of cool, instead of transgender Frieza and stuff.
Yeah, some of the, like, fighting games, yeah, especially, I think it's usually better in some of them. Like, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom, where you could switch between them. To me, it was character specific. Like Chris, I wanted him in English because he's, American dude. But like Ryu sounded better in Japanese, so.
They did a great job with that, in my opinion, with Street Fighter X Tekken, where you could have regional on there, and the actors from the ones that were actually supposed to be American would speak in English, and the ones who were Japanese would speak in Japanese, and I was like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's a really good attention to detail that I think it's cool to put in a game like that.
That's what I did with like Sonic, because Sonic was better in Japanese.
I'm just.
But then again, Sonic was better.
Sonic
But Sonic was actually better when he didn't talk, so maybe that's why he's better in Japanese.
Yeah, I can see that.
Highly disagree.
Wait,
you don't like Steve Urkel?
No, I disagree with the fact Sonic was better when he didn't talk. Because while I do like the original Sonic games, I'll also admit I'm a big fan and still praying to God we get a third one, which we never will. I loved the Adventure series where he talked with the big story. The first time I played that on the Dreamcast, I was fucking blown away. That's one of the few games that's actually made me sit on the edge of my seat and I'd just lose fucking hours playing and be like, this is like the greatest shit ever!
See, I like
That
Sonic
first one was good.
I like Sonic Battle Adventure 2, and I didn't mind everyone else talking. I just didn't like Sonic talking. I don't know. I'm Sonic prejudiced maybe, but like I didn't mind everyone else. Like Amy, like Robotnik, they're all fine. And like I don't know. Like if you played Sonic, what was the one where all the little Sonics come back, or not all of them, but this one they go back in time or something, and you have two Sonics and two Tails. It's funny how in the characters, have you played that Sonic Generations?
I have. I got a review of that.
Oh yeah, see, like, did you notice, or did you feel that, like, some of the characters from, like, the future Sonic appreciated the older Sonic better as well? Because I got a slight, like, tinge of that the newer Sonic, team, like, everyone else except Sonic, appreciated the older Sonic that didn't talk better than the modern Sonic.
See, for me, it was more of a case of they appreciated that he was from the past and he's from a different era and stuff like that, but it was more like playing tribute to the past. It was like they honoured the current Sonic just as much, which I'll admit I did love that. I loved seeing like short, fat, old original Sonic, even though he wasn't old, but you know, I meant old as in previous, but seeing that Sonic running around not talking, and then seeing the big, taller, skinny Sonic now speaking and stuff, and the endings, I love that game. But for me personally, when it comes to voice dubbing for reading, I'm going to be honest, dubbing every single time. I want voice every time. Like I mentioned with them, even with the Dragon Ball Z one, that's that's subtitles, but I'm still listening to the Japanese audio. If it didn't have any audio and it was just the subtitles, I'd be annoyed fast. Because I'm one of those, I don't like reading a lot of stuff. It may be because I'm dyslexic or whatever, but I don't like reading a lot of stuff. And when I'm playing a load of games and the people aren't talking, it's just text boxes like a fucking Pokemon game. I'm like, okay, I understand it on the DS, or I understand it, sorry, not on the DS, I understood it on the Game Boy and stuff, because it was back then. But nowadays, if I buy like a PS3 game, and I'm playing it, and it's got no dialogue, and it's just all speech with bubbles and stuff, I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? You just hire some voice actors.
I have to agree with you, because I don't like I'm just lazy. I just don't like reading anything. I like hearing all the voice acting. Even in, like, I mentioned this already to you guys, but not to them. The Pokemon Snap. When I freaking heard Professor Oak be like, hey, ooh, cool, or whatever he said, you know? Like, that was freaking awesome. I love Professor Oak. And this might just be personal in me, because I wish Professor Oak was my grandpa, but, like, I don't know, just hearing him from the TV show, but now he's, like, in my home and, like, you know, on my TV talking, like, in the game, like, I'm doing stuff to make him say things. That was freaking awesome.
Yep. It's like, this kind of goes into it a little bit, but it's like when I reviewed Samurai on Power Rangers Samurai on the Wii. They had dialogue on there, yes, but they presented it in the via text box approach. And I'm like, this is boring as fuck. At least have some sort of animated cutscene to go with it, or just a cutscene instead of Pokemon text. Sorry, you go.
I do want to say that they should always have a subtitling option, or the text should you should have an option to always actually display the text, because I have two noisy ass kids, so I always have to turn on subtitles, otherwise I'm not going to hear half of anything. Because if you tell them to be quiet, kids are quiet for like 5 seconds whenever you tell them. So as long as there's an option to do it, then that's totally cool.
I need that too, because I have like crazy friggin' sweet mates, and I have to like lower the volume of like everything.
Yeah.
And they'll freak out at the littlest thing. So I had to like watch like the Harry Potter musical. Like I had that on the subtitling on YouTube. So I could hear, like, the words, like, I could hear the music and, like, the melody, but sometimes I couldn't distinguish the words because the volume was too low. So I had that on subtitle.
And I do the same thing. If I'm playing a game late at night, I'll have my TV lower, but I'll probably have subtitles on as well so I can read what's going on, but it's one of those I prefer the actual speaking to the reading, though. For me, anyway.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I have to say though, like sometimes, like you said before, if like you said you'd prefer if they did text, or if they had like really bad voice acting or something, you prefer the text. Because like I'm not gonna say I love Heavy Rain, but like I hate the kids' voices. Like I hate the kids' voices because like, Dad, aren't you going to feed me now? I don't want to go to bed. It's like, this kid needs some Prozac, like, now. Like, you're not depressed. Your kid is depressed. He needs to, like, no, give him the whole bottle. Whole bottle of Prozac right now. That's what he needs. Because he is, like, the most depressed kid, even when he's happy. I'm so happy. Yay! You threw it right. You threw the boomerang. Yay!
Yeah.
Would you like gummies? I hate them. Strawberry, you got me. The only thing I'm allergic to. Yay. Like, oh my god. He's just depressed, like, all the time, even when he's happy. Like,
yeah, even the dad, Ethan, wasn't that great sometimes. Like when he's yelling for Jason, and there's like two different ones. There's like Jason or Jason. So he's like trying to find his kid, and he's like, Jason.
The fact that there was no run button or get the fuck out of my way button, like, because he was just strolling along, Jason, Jason, like, and he was like, he's not like
missing. I'm just gonna walk.
Yeah, he's just walking through and stuff. He's like, my son's been missing for like 2 hours in the world's most crowded mall. I guess they're giving away like free like video games or like iPods or something. Like, Jason, oh well, my son's not here. You know.
Yeah. It's like I said to you when I was playing that crappy. Oh, what the hell was it now? That game I really didn't like.
Men in Black game?
No, not that one. Wasn't quite that bad, but it was pretty bad. That Okami HD or whatever the hell it was.
Oh, I hate you.
Where, okay, they had the voices. The voices fucking sucked and were the most boringest shit I've ever heard. But when, on the parts that actually had voice, but most of that was the Pokemon text bubble style approach for some of it and stuff. And I'm like, this is boring. And they go on for like fucking hours of that shit before you can even play the game. To the point where I've lost interest in the game before I've even played it. That can be distracting sometimes.
I'll bet the story is a long build-up, but it's if you actually read through it, it's like really awesome and interesting. But I can understand how you get bored. But what they were doing, like the HD one, they were just pretty much copy and pasting and improving the graphics from the first one. So because it was on the, I don't know, I had it on the PlayStation 2. No, I had it on the Wii. I had it on the Wii.
Yeah, PS2 was the first one.
To be fair, they had cutscenes and voice acting on PS2 games. That's no excuse. It's just bad. But
I'm just saying because they had it on the PlayStation 2, they like didn't add like that from the HD version.
And like I said, the story may be it could be the greatest story ever told. It's just the way they presented it was the most boringest way of presenting it that made me turn around and just say, I'm bored of this crap now.
I think you mean the greatest story never told. Wah.
Yeah. I mean, it's, like I said, I don't like reading a lot of stuff like that. Maybe because I'm dyslexic and I don't like reading shitloads of stuff. But I just didn't find that fun. It just wasn't enjoyable to me. Whereas, to its credit, I hate the Men in Black game. I enjoyed the story portions, cutscenes more than I did in that game, because at least I could actually just sit back and watch them be cutscenes.
Of course, we could get into Kingdom Hearts territory where the cutscenes and the talking is like goes on for way too long, and literally every time I start a Kingdom Hearts game now, I like start the game and start my file, and then I start preparing my snacks and stuff for the rest of the game. Like, because I know by the time I get back with like my soda and candy, and maybe I'll make a salad or something. I'll put something in the oven for half an hour. By that time it's all done, like I'll finally get to play. I mean, I love Kingdom Hearts, but they have like the longest frickin' cutscenes ever.
No, Metal Gear Solid 4.
I've never played that, so I'll have to time it.
No one has. No, just kidding.
Yeah, no one's played that. That's all one giant cutscene.
Yeah, I remember when I started that game, it was like I don't know, what's the first one, like a 15-minute cutscene, and then you literally crawl under a truck, and then there's like another 20-minute cutscene.
Yep. Yeah,
after a half hour of mandatory install.
Yeah, which was pretty bad. However, some people seem to enjoy that game, so more props to them.
It's a Heavy Rain is one giant cutscene.
Yeah, but to Heavy Rain's credit, meant to be an interactive
movie thing.
or interactive story. Metal Gear Solid 4 is supposed to be following on from that Metal Gear games, which were some of the most action-ish games going, and but had some really awesome gameplay too. And then the fourth one comes along, and it's like, wait, am I playing Metal Gear Solid 4, or am I playing Metal Gear Solid the movie?
Yeah.
But before we wind this topic down, does anyone else have anything to add to voice acting v text?
Tara Strong for the win.
There you go.
Yay.
In regards to bad voice acting, just randomly throwing this out here, if you ever want to see the worst example that I know of in within gaming in the last couple of years, Google or YouTube a game called oh my god, I forgot it. Chaos Wars. The gameplay was good for me, but oh my god, it's one of the few I think it's the only game I've played where I switched it back to Japanese. Usually I have them dubbed, but I had to switch it because the English is so bad.
Oh, I thought you were
think
gonna.
The kid from, huh?
And I thought you were gonna mention, I was thinking of in Final Fantasy where they have that infamous laughing scene with Titus and Yuna.
Oh yeah, and the
It's like
whistling and stuff. Those are.
Yeah, it's like it's
I know. I
truly
can't wait for
gently
that
funny.
to be HD. But,
Oh,
yeah, well, there's like an awesome video on YouTube that's like the worst stuff in the worst dubbing, and it's got like the Devil May Cry one with the filling your soul with light, and the horrible, horrible voice of like Zero from one of the Mega Man X's. But I think Chaos Wars on the whole, if you actually watch that video, they have a portion in there that's bad, but like the entire game is just horrible dubbing, like just bored ass people. It sounds like literally that the person that was making it like hired his family to do it, like just real cheap. It's so bad.
I'll tell you the voice acting I really hate but I do enjoy the games. I don't like the voice acting in the wrestling games.
Yeah, like the commentary or just like the cutscenes.
I can tolerate the commentary because fair enough, it's not going to be as realistic. Yeah. But I mean during like Road to WrestleMania or stuff like that where it sounds literally like they took the wrestler when he's gone to back after a match and been like, oh, you're going to be recording your lines now. I am? Yeah. Just go in there and they just sit down and you can tell it's in a voice studio box because it's all echoey and shit.
Yeah.
And they just sound completely like they're just going through the motions to just get the fuck out of there.
Which, yeah, that makes me laugh too. When they have a guy that, he sits in front of like 10,000 people and he sounds fine, and then it's like they put him in a booth and he just fucking doesn't know what to do. I almost feel like they should put a camera on him so he thinks he's on camera, and then you probably get better voice work.
I'm going to say, to quote, make a wrestling pun from old bad times when Michael Cole used to do this, I'm going to say, modified fear of public speaking.
You know what the best voice acting is? And no matter what game it's in, it's still the best voice acting? Legend of Zelda.
Arkham City.
Legend of Zelda.
Have you also been playing my Dragon Ball Z games? That's literally all that's in my Dragon Ball Z games. Every attack is like, oh. But yeah, it's like I said, the Batman Arkham games, they've got good voice acting, but I'll put it to you guys before we go. Voice acting can make or break a game, in my opinion, in terms of if it's done via text or if it's like that. Because, for example, you've played it, Stacey. I don't know if Richter has. The Cave. Imagine how much that game wouldn't have been good if it didn't have the narrator.
Oh my god, that would completely change the entire, feeling of the game. Because that was one of the central, points of the entire game. So it would definitely change the entire experience.
Yeah, I meant if it was via text. Now, some games I can understand no voice. I'll be honest, I don't really want Mario to get a voice actor.
Yeah.
It's me, Mario! Whoa!
Yeah, past the 6 things that he already says.
Besides, woohoo, and yippee, and
I'm the best!
Mario! Yeah, and besides that stuff, I don't want him to suddenly, during the next cutscene, I don't want him to go, oh, who are you? I'm Mario.
Well, see, I actually have to mention something because when I pre-ordered Super Mario Galaxy, I actually got a phone call, and this was the scariest thing in my life, I'll tell you. I think you know what's coming. I got literally a call, and someone in a Mario voice told me my pre-order was ready. It's like, your pre-orders are ready! And I'm like, what? And it was like the creepiest. I'm like, who is this? Go away! How do you know my number? I didn't even know it was GameStop. I thought somebody was punking me or something, or like, I was like, who are you? And it wasn't talking back to me, and I'm like, don't call my house again! And like, and I got so scared. I'm like, Mom, some really weird guy just called the house and stuff, and we like star 69 and find out that it was like GameStop or whatever, and I was like, oh, okay. But that was really scary.
They did something like that to promote, and I know we don't really like these, but to promote the Michael Bay Transformer films. They did something that was fucking awesome with that. I'm sorry, they did something awesome. To promote that, they had a thing where if you entered, and you could do this, I did it, I entered one of my friend's phone numbers, email addresses, they then got a message sent to them on that, and they clicked play on it, and it was, hello, and then whatever their name was, I am Optimus Prime. I believe you have interest in the upcoming Transformers game. You have been recommended from your friend Mole. Or it may have gone with Chris, because I'm not sure if he pronounced Mole, but it was awesome, because it was like, oh my god, it's Optimus Prime giving people personalised messages. I even sent one to myself.
Awesome. Oh my god, I would have been like, was it just text-to-speech, or was it like certain like keywords or something?
No, it wasn't text-to-speech, it was literally, I am Optimus Prime, not, hello, I am Optimus Prime.
No, but I mean, like, could you like make him say anything, or like?
It was like a pre-recorded message, and all that changed was the names.
Okay.
It was only names. It was only names that he could actually pronounce too.
Okay.
But it was still kind of cool.
Hello, Cupcake.
'Cause if that was true, I would have used that so badly.
Hello, sugar tits. I am Optimus Prime.
That needs to be in the next one now.
This message was brought to you by Cuntalingus. Or even better, Cuntalingus Prime. But yes, we've exhausted this topic.
That was good. That's a good thing to end on.
It was. And thanks everyone for joining us for XGR.
Thank you.
This week, a lot less rape.
Yeah, but still some, apparently.
No, that comes after.
Well, he mentioned Michael Bay and Transformers. That implies a lot of it.
It's not rape, it's just the ridiculously large amounts of porn.
No, it's raping at yeah, exactly, it's raping at the childhood.
That's true.
And you mentioned Final Fantasy, which have pretty much raped the series by now.
Yeah,
because Final Fantasy went from being a great Japanese role-playing game to let's get an effeminate female anime character that whines and bitches to emo music.
I think you have to include that the character is male, because if we just say female character, people assume that all of them are female.
I said a guy that looks female.
Oh, I didn't hear that. I thought you just said effeminate female-looking character, but I didn't hear you specify that it's male. Because without that one specification, you'll have all those guys masturbating to male characters without even knowing it.
They probably do anyway, to be fair. But yeah, thanks for joining us.
Laters.
See ya. Bye.